Good day, everyone. Now, our Group 6, will present about the performance of Maybank, Hong Leong Bank, and also CIMB Bank from 2016 to 2020. My name is Evelyn Lee Ching, and my matrix number is 279198. And now I will present about the objective of this project. The first one is explain the background of Maybank, Hong Leong Bank, and also the CIMB Bank. Second is calculate and determine the key profitability ratio of Maybank, Hong Leong Bank, and CIMB Bank from 2016 to 2020. And the third one is interpret and summarize the result of key profitability ratio, including the graphs of three banks. And the last one is compare the performance among the three banks. Next is the background of the banks. On the Malaysia Stock Exchange, Maybank is recorded as the largest company by market capitalizations Bursa Malaysia. The bank aims to humanize services of financial in Asia by allowing individuals to obtain financial services with equitable conditions and at a low cost, while always keeping the community in mind. On the other hand, the vision of Maybank is to advance the Asia's ambitions with customers. This research report will choose another two additional commercial banks in Malaysia, Hong Leong Bank and CIMB Bank, to analyze their performance and compare them to Maybank. We would like to know the differences among the banks as though they were being compared. Hong Leong Bank Berhad is a Malaysian financial services company with headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. This bank carries Malaysia's oldest regional financial institution legacy. Hong Leong Bank's long-term mission is to help clients take advantage of their potentials by providing ongoing digital improvement to their goods and services that makes them easier to use. In addition, we chose CIMB Bank as the second commercial bank to be compared. CIMB Group Holdings is a Malaysian universal bank with headquarters in Kuala Lumpur and is located in Asia's fastest growing countries. The mission of CIMB Bank is to provide universal banking services as a high-performing, institutionalized, and integrated company located in Asia and key markets beyond, and to champion the accelerations of Asians' integrations and the region's links to the rest of the world. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Beck Carbon and my matrix number is 279557. I'm going to present the part of ownership structures for Maybank. Maybank is the largest bank in Malaysia. Their issued and paid out shares grow from around 10,193 million in 2016 to around 11,430 million in 2020. Since 2016, there are three constant substantial shareholders, which is Amanah Saham Bumiputra, Employee Provident Fund Board, and Permodalan Nasional Berhad. Amanah Saham Bumiputra is the largest shareholder who holds around 36% of Maybank shares. Besides, in 2019, Kumpulan Perusahaan joined into the substantial shareholders with holding 4.71% of the direct shares and 0.38% of the indirect shares. Next, in 2020, Yayasan Pelaburan Bumiputra joined into the substantial shareholders with holding 7.27% of the indirect shares. So this is all about the part of the ownership structures for changes from Maybank.
Good day, doctor and all my friends. My name is Gui Jinxiang, matrix number 276950. I am going to present the part ownership structure for Hong Leong Bank. Hong Leong is one of the oldest regional financial institution agency in Malaysia. Hong Leong Bank have a foreign shareholding of 9.8% in June 2020 and 19.2% local shareholding. The total amount of share issued and paid out share capital after deducting tertiary share prescribed to Section 67A of the Company Act in 1965 are constant, which is around 2 billion and 86 million from 2016 to 2020. Hong Leong Financial Group Berhad, Q Key, and Employee Provident Board are the three constant substantial shareholders of the bank. Hong Leong Financial Group Berhad had to hold 63.59% direct share in 2016 and increased to 64.23% in 2020, who is the largest shareholder of the Hong Leong Bank Berhad. Shareholder Q Key is constant, who had held 0.01% of the direct share from 2016 to 2020. Besides that, shareholder Employee Provident Fund Board have to hold 13.3% of the direct share of the bank in 2016 and keep falling to 11.8% direct share in 2020.
Good afternoon, Doctor. My name is Leong Shi and my mention number is 2792447. I will continue to present about the ownership structure for CIMB banks. CIMB Bank is the second largest bank in Malaysia. Their total amount of share issued and payout share capital increased from around 8,868 million in 2016 to around 9,922 million in 2020. CIMB largest shareholder, which Khazanah Nasional Berhad, had hold direct share of 29.34% in 2016 decreased to 23.77% in 2017, but erection again during the year of 2020 of 27.22%. Besides that, the second largest shareholder, is Employee Provident Fund, had hold 13.38% of direct share in 2016 and increased to 16.4% in 2020. Apart from that, Kumpulan Wang Persaraan had entered into the sustainable shareholder from 2017 to 2020 and displayed a direct share of 6.14% in 2017 and then increased in 2020 by 6.52%. Moreover, Amanah Saham Bumi Putera and Amanah Saham Malaysia 2 Wawasan are also the top 4 and top 5 shareholders, which have held 4.88% and 2.35% of direct share in 2020 respectively. So these are all the part of ownership structure for CIMB banks. Thank you.
My name is Sheena Tangxiajong, matrix number 281595. For my part, I'll present about the interpretation of ROE and ROA. As we can see the bar chart, Maybank achieved the highest ROE in these 5 years, except 2017, which been replaced by CIMB Bank, 11.48% in that particular year. Meanwhile, the ROE of Hong Leong Bank was the average among 3 banks. In 2020, the ROE of all 3 banks experienced a decline. Overall, Maybank is the most effective in using the contribution of equity to generate additional profits and return the profit to investor at an attractive level. ROA, we can say that Maybank is more efficient in managing assets to earn profit compared to other banks, as Maybank has the highest ROA from 2016 to 2020, while in 2018, Maybank achieved its highest ROA. 1.6% means that Maybank is able to earn 1 ringgit and 60 cents for every 1 ringgit asset invested. Meanwhile, the most significant drop in ROA was in 2020 by CIMB Bank. Also, for the ROA for Hong Leong Bank is slightly fluctuated between 0.93% to 1.17% during this 5 years, which consider a stable ROA ratio.
Metric number 277307, and I will talk about the interpretation on net interest margin, which is a measure of the net return of the bank earning assets. According to the bar chart, Hong Leong Bank net interest margin remained stable in the range between 1.5% to 1.7% for 5 years, while the net interest margin of Maybank and CIMB Bank has changed significantly. CIMB maintained high interest margins in the first 2 years, but it declined after 2018. At the same year, Maybank reached its higher value at 1.93%. This indicates that Maybank has made better investment decisions compared to the other 2 banks, and they effectively used their resources to obtain an average return of 1.72% in the past 5 years. Net non-interest margin is the difference between non-interest income and non-interest expenses divided by total earning assets. From the bar chart, we can see that Maybank's net non-interest margin were all positive, except for 2017. While the net non-interest margin of Hong Leong Bank and CIMB Bank have been always negative for the past 5 years. CIMB Bank even reached the lowest level at negative 0.52 in 2016. It can be concluded that Maybank has invested more resources in generating late fees, credit cards fee, penalty, and other non-core income. Conversely, Hong Leong Bank and CIMB Bank are more focused on core business rather than non-core business. They did not produce more non-interest income effectively.
My name is Rochini, metric number 27954C. I'm going to present the interpretations for net operating margins. As you can see in this bar chart, Maybank has the highest net operating margin among the 3 banks in these 5 years. Meanwhile, Hong Leong Bank's net operating profit margin remained relatively stable at 3.18% to 3.67%. However, CIMB net operating profit margin is relatively low, even reaches the lowest 2.48% in 2020. It concludes that Maybank is more efficient in its operations and is good at turning capital into profits.
Good day, Doctor. I'm Tan Jing Wei, metric number 277976. I will be presenting on the earning per share part. Earning per share is an indicator of a company's profitability. and it is calculated by the net income after tax divided by the common equity share outstanding. Based on the graph, we can conclude that Hong Leong Bank has the highest earning per share from 2016 to 2020. It is then followed by the Maybank and CIMB Bank. We can indicate that Hong Leong Bank is able to generate more profit compared to the other two banks. Conversely, CIMB Bank has the lowest earning per share compared to the others. This is because the common equity shares outstanding issued by CIMB Bank is much larger than Hong Leong Bank and Maybank. Next, we also can conclude that in year 2020, the earning per share for all three banks decreased in value due to the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak, which records RM 0.81 per share for Hong Leong Bank, RM 0.53 per share for Maybank, and RM 0.02 per share for CIMB Bank. The earning per share in 2020 for three banks are the lowest among the 5 years from 2016 to 2020. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Good day, doctor. I'm Ishi and my metric number is 277799. I will continue to present the earnings spread part. Earnings spread is a tool used to measure the efficiency of a financial firm's intermediation role in borrowing and lending capital. Based on the chart, it shows that Maybank has placed at the lowest earnings spread among these three banks in 5 years. This is because the difference between the interest charged and paid out by Maybank have a lower difference compared to the others bank. CIMB Banks always has the highest earnings spread among the banks, but it had passed by Hong Leong Bank in 2018 and 2019. This is because the interest paid out by CIMB Bank is higher in 2018 and interest charged by Hong Leong Bank is higher in the year of 2019. During the year of 2020, the earnings spread of Maybank and CIMB Bank have rose, but Hong Leong Bank has declined as the interest expenses has increased in 2020. Thus, we can conclude that CIMB Bank is the most efficient bank in borrowing and lending capital from 2016 to 2020. That's all my part. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Kavita, daughter of Rajendran. My metric number is 278001. Based on the chart beside, CIMB Bank had the highest operating efficiency ratio in 2020, that is 0.3512, followed by Hong Leong Bank 0.20409 and Maybank 0.1964 in the same year. In 2019, Maybank had the lowest operating efficiency ratio among these 5 years, which was 0.1866. Furthermore, it was clearly shown an upward trend for this operating efficiency ratio of CIMB Bank during year 2017 to 2020, from 0.683 in 2017 increased to 0.3512 in 2020. However, the operating efficiency ratio of these three banks were seen to be inconstant, and this testified as their operating efficiency ratio were below 1 during these 5 years. Thank you.
In a nutshell, this report has contributed data and strong proof of the study to achieve our research objectives. Through this research, we have calculated several key profitability ratios for the three banks. CIMB Bank had the highest return on equity in 2017, whereas Maybank was the highest in the remaining years. Maybank ROE makes the efficient use of equity investor contributions to generate additional profits and returns to the investor at attractive level. In addition, Maybank had the highest return of assets ratios, net non-interest margins from 2016 to 2020. It means that Maybank is more productive in managing their balance sheets to generate profits compared to the other banks. For the net interest margin, CIMB Bank achieved the highest in 2016 and 2017, while Maybank had the highest from 2018 to 2020. Next, Maybank also reached the highest percentage among the three banks in net bank operating margin for 2016 to 2020. Additionally, in the comparison of earnings spread among these three banks, Hong Leong Bank obtained its highest ratios in 2018 and 2019, while CIMB Bank had the highest ratios in 2016, 2017, and also 2020. The high earnings spread proved that the profit margin of bank is high. Last but not least, CIMB Bank had the highest operating efficiency ratios in the years. That's all from me. Thank you.